Welcome to Real Conversations, exploring the meaning behind the music. Hi, I'm Robert Brzezinski.
And I'm Jeanne Kataoka. And together, we're having real conversations with your favorite New Thought artists.
Join us as we take a deep dive into the inspiration and meaning behind the music of New Thought. Our guests are ready to share stories from their spiritual journey and creative process with you.
Real Conversations is a chance to look behind the curtain and connect with your favorite New Thought artists.
So let's dive right in. Real Conversations, exploring the meaning behind the music. And hello again, dear ones. Robert Brzezinski with you. My co-host, Jeanne Kataoka, is with us.
Hi, I'm Jeanne Kataoka. I'm with the Riverside CSL in Riverside, California.
And we have an amazing artist. I cannot wait to introduce you to her music. Laura Berman is with us today, so I'll just cut right to the lead there. And we're so happy you're going to be that you're with us. Get a chance to listen to this. This is Real Conversations, an opportunity to go deeper behind the music and invite artists to share a bit more of what's really happening for them in their music and how it parallels their spiritual journey. So again, today we have Laura Berman with us. She's a singer-songwriter, reached acclaim for her soul-touching vocal and honest lyrical poetry. I agree with that, absolutely, listening to her music. Her style and approach is reminiscent of the likes of Carole King and Carly Simon, with a passion that has known to lift folks off the ground. Laura has performed alongside Reverend Michael Beckwith at the Agape International Spiritual Center, along with authors Neil Donald Walsh, Marianne Williamson. She is also a session singer and has a featured song in the children's film and accompanied soundtrack, Clifford's Really Big Movie. Now, my kids are going to love to hear that part. And Laura actually just completed her 5th studio album. It's called Home. We're going to talk a bit more about that later in the show. I want to, though, get started and welcome Laura to our show. Laura, welcome to Real Conversations.
Thanks, Robert. Hi, Jeanne. Thanks so
Hi,
much
Laura.
for me. Thank you. So glad.
We'll kick it right off, and let's talk about Right Here All Along, because my understanding is that was kind of a shifting point for you into New Thought. So tell me more about that.
Yes. Well, I was, my husband and I originally from the East Coast, New York in the house, and I was a singer-songwriter in the music scene there in New York, and through a series of events, we were asked to perform at a CSL in New Jersey, Reverend Frankie Timmers in Morristown, and then just started writing music. And that particular song, my husband Craig wrote, and it was, it's sort of just a prayer and affirmation in the music, just that everything I've been looking for is right here. And it really was the beginning of that journey for me, because this was a new concept. What do you mean it's here? So, and that song is very meaningful to me because, having sung it over, a lot over the years, it just continues to remind me that. Yeah.
Okay, we hear that, Robert?
Absolutely. Let's take a listen, folks. This is Laura Berman from the album. It's called Detour. The band is called 4 Stories High with, I believe your husband Craig was part of this, right?
Yes, that was our 4 Stories High is our project that we did together, and Detour is the album we did. Yeah.
Yeah. And the song's called Right Here All Along. Enjoy.
Madam X, throw away your crystal ball, 'cause it will never tell you all about me. Have your fun, rummaging through my past. I gotta say I'm done with that. I am free. There is nothing I am guilty of in the eyes of perfect love. Finally I am waking up from my sleep, like a child in a warm embrace, staring at his mother's face, knowing heaven's just a place that's been right here all along. It's been right here all along. Right here. Wasted time popping all my stupid pills, believing that I was ill, afraid to feel, letting go, searching for a brand new fix, when I was never really sick. I am healed. I am dancing high above the clouds, living only in the now, committed to a brand new vow of joy. Don't you wanna have a taste of what it's like to feel this safe in the magnitude of heaven's grace? That's been right here all along. It's been right here all along. Yeah. I am coming home. I am coming home. I am coming to the heart of a mother, strength of a father, joining hands with all of my brothers in love that's true, created just for me and you. All you really have to do is know that you were never left behind in the beauty of mankind, the miracle you tried to find. It's been right here all along. It's been right here all along. It's been right here all along. Right here all along. It's been right here all along. Right here, right here. It's been right here all along. Oh, with the heart of a mother and strength of a father, with my brothers all matter. It's been right here all along. Right here all along. It's been right here all along. It's been right here all along. Right here all along. It's been right here all along. It's been right here all along.
So there we are with Right Here All Along. And that was Laura said that was an important part in her spiritual journey. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Jeanne.
Laura, I'd love to ask you, from the album Everything in Between, you've got a song on there. It's called Lift Off. And when I hear it, it absolutely sounds to me, I'd rather hear what it sounds like for you. And then maybe I will see if I was right. But share with us a little bit. What's Liftoff all about? Before we listen to it, let us know what the deeper behind the scenes are there.
Well, when I wrote that song, or that song wrote me, I think I really examining that fine line between, when you're at a crossroads, a new spot in your life, and you really know instinctively that it's time to step into that next place. There's nothing that can hold you back. And I think that and my connection with nature is pretty deep. And I imagine that I would be okay. The wind would take me to the next place, or, just the confidence of the instinctual nature of a bird, being able to just say, I've got to go. And so there was a certain amount, despite any fear I was having jumping into the next place in my life, that there was intrinsic confidence and knowing that the wind was just going to carry me where I needed to go. So that song really, it uplifts me. It's also just another reminder that you can't, everything is really just it's purposeful and it's gonna be okay.
Yeah. When I first heard the song, it really felt like a commitment to exactly that, surrendering into the wind and allowing ourselves to be lifted into a brand new experience.
Exactly.
So, folks, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and kick back, unless you're driving in a vehicle at the moment. As long as you're safe, close your eyes, kick back, and allow this to lift you, to inspire you. This is Lift Off by Laura Berman.
Just when I take a step outside, the rain catches me with no warning. Right before I lift off what was once light and airy, can't catch my breath, poor sweet canary, for the weight on my body. Oh, break me, take me, climb inside, bring me to a new divide, and I will grow to know a better me. And this time I will lift off and fly. Lift off and fly. Just when I take a step outside, all around I see the empty spaces. No matter how many times on this fun night I can barely get the height. Now I wanna soar with clean traces. Oh, break me, take me, climb inside, bring me to a new divide, and I will grow to know a better me, better me.
And yes, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. Thank you, thank you, thank you for bringing that one into the world.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Real Conversations. I'm Robert Brzezinski. I've got Jeanne Kataoka, my co-host, with me today, and we're speaking with Laura Berman and looking at her music and her spiritual journey. This is New Thought Radio. I'm going to give this back to Jeanne, and we'll dive even deeper in with Laura Berman.
As I was listening to your music, I was really struck by the song Mend. I find that for myself and other practitioners at my center in Riverside, CSL in Riverside, California, when we invite people to center down, we often say, go to that place that's never been hurt. And I thought this was the music for that. So tell me how you came to write this. Tell me more about this song.
Wow, that's so moving. I've never heard that before. Like, go to the place that's never been hurt. Wow. Most of my songs actually start just about what's going on in my life in relationships. And then quickly it's, let's say it's about, husband and wife relationship issues. But then there's wow, this is me and something greater than me. And so relationships sort of meld. There's less definition about what it is and more just a feeling of unity and something I need to say that's just about that. So Mend was, I think Craig and I just had like an awful fight, to be honest. And, I've never felt comfortable shying away from the real things going on in my life. I think it does a disservice if I don't really speak what's happening. But through that, there's clarity and resolution. And for Mend, it was, despite all of that goes on, and then taking it to the spiritual side, despite my feeling disconnected or not peaceful or not seeing the wholeness of life, the great love that's, that I am and is all around me, not seeing that, not feeling that, I can still trust, in that coming together and amending. So I hope that makes sense. That was also a great, we produced that at home. And so Craig and I did that together, and doing that album, Everything in Between, together was also not, we're two artists. So that brought a whole other dimension to it. That's a conversation for another time over some fine whiskey. Anyhow, yeah. So
I worked with my husband for a number of years, so I totally understand. But so let's take a listen to Mend.
I'm turned inside out, and it seems my world is beyond repair. There's nothing left in you, and I live for the pain everywhere. It's easy to believe. You think that the words aren't really felt. How do we move through it when we're lost in something else? See what's inside. Be open to a place that's alive. Will it break you down for the last time? And can you mend? Will you ever mend? I'm vested now, but I like to live my days in distraction. These are the moments when you stand in your Most times I've run so far from this, but return each time with a sense of it. See what's inside. Be open to a place that's alive. And will it bring you down for the last time? And can you mend? Or will you ever mend? Will you ever mend? Will it bring us down for the last time?
And I'll come back with the lyrics that strike me in that. See what's inside. Be open to the place that's alive. It's just lovely. I love your poetry, Laura.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. It's very healing to put the pen to the page, and so thank you.
So the next song that I like to dig around a little bit is Indestructible. Tell me about Indestructible.
Well, Indestructible is on my latest album that I set out to write, really just being super, even striving to be even more vulnerable and real. And there's just been a lot of stuff happening in the world that maybe is stuff like this has been happening for centuries, but with social networking, we're just seeing a lot. And the song originally started about my own relationship and really just continuing to say yes in the relationship and always reflecting, looking back at what's going on for me, because it's easy to say everything's your fault, but it really quickly, it's become for me a sort of anthem for humanity, that we're in, that our spirit really is indestructible, and whether or not you can look at everything and say it's purposeful, or that, all that aside, it just really believing in us as humans, that we can really step into love, practice stepping into love and caring for each other. So I love that tune. And then Roman Morakit, he's one half of Gypsy Soul, which is one of my favorite bands, and he produced the album, and he had this idea for the bass line, and so it's danceable, so there's a spirit in it that is celebrating, our being able to sort of triumph.
So, and I love the lyrics, shakeable, sometimes breakable, always indestructible. Mm-hmm. So let's listen to the very danceable, Indestructible.
One by one
Ah, yes. Thanks so much for that one, Laura. And moving on, let's talk about I Realize.
I Realize has become my, I don't know what the word you use is, but I'm most remembered for that one. So when Craig and I were living on the East Coast, we wrote a lot of songs for special programs in Morristown, New Jersey, and learned that, you know, having a deadline is really important for completing songs, because every week we had to write a song anyhow. So we were invited, they were hosting an East Coast practitioners weekend, and one of our friends, Reverend Janice Valera, had this, I believe it was Janice, but the team there producing that practitioner weekend had an idea for the steps of treatment to have a song highlighting each step. I think it was Janice that asked me if I could write a song for the realization step. So that song was actually specifically written for realization step of affirmative prayer. And I've sung it in different ways, either solo at the piano. The recording I think that we're going to hear today that's the studio recording, and there's live recordings. And that song, especially at the end, there are these words that just go over, there are no walls in between you and me, and this word over that, because I love the experience of kirtan and even Christian worship. But just when like you're taken in it, that was like the beginning of me exploring that part of myself and experiential praise through that song. So yeah, I love it. It is one of my faves. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. The part about each step brings me closer to me, because I think, you know, we get all reaching out to others and all involved in our busyness, and then realizing that sometimes we do have to take steps to get back to me. And I love that sentiment. So let's take a listen.
Living large in a tiny square, broken pieces seem to lead nowhere. Why do I feel that my life is just pretend? All my dreams staying way too small, they lead me back to where I started from. How can I move when I fear what lies ahead? Well, there's more than what I see. Each step brings me closer to free. I realize it's all inside of me. I realize there are no walls in between you and me and this holy word. You and me and this holy word. And I realize now, and with each new day I see my life getting bigger with less denying. It's my choice now to leave or just give in. And every morning I give thanks, amen, to all the growth I've experienced. And I've become a dream that's worth believing. Well, there's more than what I see. Each step brings me closer to me. Yeah. I realize it's all inside of me. I realize there are no walls in between you and me and this holy word. No walls in between you and me and this holy word. Well, it's a long road, but one I choose to travel through this lifetime. And I'm learning you believe me? There's more than what you see. Yes, I realize it's all inside of me. I realize there are no walls in between. I realize it's all inside of me. I realize there are no walls in between you and me and this holy word. No walls in between you and me and this holy word. I realize it's all inside me, all inside of me. There are no walls. There are no walls in between you and between you and me and this holy. There are no walls in between you and this holy word.
Oh, how beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Folks, you're listening to Real Conversations with Robert Brzezinski and Jeanne Kataoka. Our guest today is Laura Berman. What a wonderful journey we've been having. And Laura, we've got the time today. I want to go just to keep going with you. We've heard a couple of songs now from the new album, Home. And folks, Laura's got a catalog of albums out there now. This isn't your first album. This one feels to me like there's really kind of a bigger theme even. Everything's put together in a way that is really inspiring. The song that I want to play next, and then we'll talk about it afterwards, is one of the ones that just kind of really keeps grabbing me every time I hear it. So, folks, I want you to listen to this, and then we'll come back and hear a little bit more from Laura Berman. This is Higher Good.
From the darkest place to a higher space, calling from every direction. On every single path I stood strong and cowered fast. What a strange perception. Well, life is demanding, but I am understanding. The best I could was where I stood for. Higher good and greater truth, where once it was covered true. Where once it was covered, now I have perused. There's a bigger lesson, one I never expected. Rising up, rising up from misunderstood. A higher good, a higher good.
And we're back with Laura Berman. I'm Robert Brzezinski. Jeanne Kataoka is here today. And we're talking about your new album, Home, and the song Higher Good. Please, Laura, fill us in. How's a project like this kind of all come together? And tell us a bit more about Higher Good.
I had set an intention for this album that I wanted to get back to my singer-songwriter roots, and even just with more of the lyrical poetry and sonically a little more acoustic. And I really just wanted to write from my heart. I mean, all of us songwriters, we write from our heart, but I think for a long time, I've been touring a long time in the New Thought movement, and I was singing and performing, but there was a calling in my own heart that I think I wasn't listening to. And I just wanted to be able to express. I didn't know how it was going to outpicture, but I just wanted to do the album for me. And I think a lot of artists do the album for themselves. I don't think I ever really did think about, what do I really feel at this point in time? I've been touring a long time, and so I actually came off the road, and I was like, I wasn't sure what was next. I knew I wanted to do an album. I missed being home. I'm such a homebody. I was never home. And so I just started writing. A lot of the songs just happened because I had made this intention that I'm not sure what's next, but I need to just be home, literally. It sort of unfolded from there. And a lot of the songs are about, relationship with my husband, like I've said. The title track is about just, wherever I had to learn traveling so much that wherever I am, I have to cultivate that feeling of home and the people that are important to me in my heart. And also what I discovered was I was looking for, hitting midlife, wanted a greater experience in the world of serving. And not that, performing in New Thought communities, of course, is there's a service there, but I was looking beyond that for where else can I, where else is the need in the world? And so this album, and Higher Good in particular, was a call for me to say, okay, I've got my stuff. A lot of it is always going to be there. Like I've already discovered that I think a lot of this is just part of the fiber, and I'm going to have to do a daily dance with some of my darker sides. But how can I kind of leave that there, leave that at the table, and then, where else can I serve in the world? And so Higher Good really was that way for me to say, I've got, this is going on, there's hardships, there's this and that, but how can I, what's the higher good for myself and for the world? And the higher, the way I can serve greater in the world is to really take some time away from the thing I've been doing to see, is there more for me? I know all that sounds a little, I don't know. It's part of my spiritual journey at this point. So.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Folks, we'll make sure that there are links to Laura's music and places where you can buy all this music from her website, and that's laurabermanmusic.com. But I'll put all that information in the show notes for you. We are kind of approaching the top of the hour here. So I want to ask Laura, share with us a little bit what's coming up? Where are you in your career? What's the new happenings? What don't we know about that you're allowed to share with us? Fill us in. What's the good news in Laura Berman's life musically right now?
Well, we're coming upon holiday season, and this Jewish girl loves Christmas, so every year I love it. And so we're doing our second annual holiday show here in Portland with Lori Jones, who's also a New Thought singer, and LaRonda Steele, who is like an amazing vocalist and tours as well here. So the three of us are doing, it's called La Christmas Bells, and we're doing that at New Thought Center for Spiritual Living in Lake Oswego on Friday, the 20th of December.
Oh, that's my birthday.
It is.
That's my birthday. Maybe I'll fly to Portland for my birthday.
Oh my goodness! I'll have to remember that night. That's so cool. And then Craig. So Craig and I were 4 stories high for a long time, and then we stopped because we wanted to stay married. And so we're heading up to Unity of Olympia. I think it's the second Sunday in December. Craig is a lot of the Christmas stuff that I've sung over the years. He's written pretty amazing stuff. So we're going to just drive up there to Olympia and share some Christmas songs together, and which is great. We haven't played together in a long time, so that's good. And then in the new year, so I've been really looking at this idea of a musical and a spiritual experience outside of Sunday morning format, where there's more of the sort of experiential songs, singing that kind of go and take you to a place, more of that kirtan thing. And I've had this idea called Sabbath Queen for quite some time, which is a way for me to kind of merge some ancient Hebrew stuff with New Thought. Amy Steinberg and I like to call it New Thought, Jew Thought. But this is specifically sort of like a worship reverence experience. So I've been looking at that, and I really need to count on the wind to take me now that we've had these conversations today, that it's time to soar with that. And then I've got a couple of new songs I'm working on that feel really, really good in my heart. Learning some recording software, and we'll see where 2020 takes me and everybody.
That's exciting. I look forward to that.
Yeah, thank you.
Almost sounds like time for a liftoff. Oh, wait, we already played that, didn't we? Yeah. Well, in case and for those that were listening, folks, that's December 15th in Olympia, Washington, and January 11th in Bellingham, Washington. And it sounds like Laura's got a lot of excitement. I love the music and the message concept and I would love to see that. So, and Laura, let me know next time you're coming into Colorado. We'll put a house concert together for you as well.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Sure. Well, folks, we've been here speaking with Laura Berman. We're about out of time here today, but we've got a little bit left. I do want to remind you, Real Conversations, we put out a different episode every month, and you can listen to some of our back episodes with Faith Rivera, Gary Lynn Floyd, Lisa Bell. And we've got some great interviews coming up in the coming months with Nemo Patel, Al Yankee, Bob Sima, and others. So please, wherever you get your podcasts, share these real conversations with your friends. However, before we go today, Laura, we've got kind of what we call our surprise question, and we don't tell guests about this one. What we really want to know is, what is your all-time favorite Laura Berman song?
My all-time favorite. Oh my goodness. I have to say it's Lift Off. It really, the song, just everything about it, the way it moves, there's a movement that sort of mimics the feeling of being lifted, and it has the piano and acoustic guitar, which brings my heart so much joy, and it sits in a great spot in my voice, and it wrote itself really fast, and so those are that's an important thing too. So yeah, that's really my favorite.
Absolutely. And being a father of two, I know that you're not allowed to have just one favorite. So we've listened to Liftoff already, folks, and if you're tuning in late, just scroll back in the episode. So who comes in the close second?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm thinking about my new album, and man, I don't know if I shared this one with you guys, but Clay is one of my favorites. I think I'm not sure what track is it for on the new album. And Clay was written, it has a lot of that imagery and artistic, actual artist imagery about clay. And it was inspired by just how we mold each other, but also how God or spirit or the divine, how we're molded in that image, and I'm doing quotes right now, and how sacred the whole process is. So yeah, Clay is one of my favorites too.
All right, well, let's give that a listen, folks. This is Laura Berman with her second favorite Laura Berman song, Clay.
Again, like music from a violin, molding this melody into my bones and into my skin like clay. And you find stone, carve above to below. See a line and you make right from wrong. Oh, you make me the shape I'm in you, and then begin again like music from a violin, molding this melody into my bones and into my skin like clay. Turns that'll wind me up, curves that'll carve me out of nothing. I am something. Hands that'll sculpt me from rock, that'll soften as clay. I am something. You make me the shape I'm in, and then begin again like music from a violin, molding this melody into my bones and into my skin like clay, like clay, oh, like clay.
Oh, yes, I see what you mean around the imagery. Absolutely beautiful, Laura. Thank you so much for being with us. Folks, please do make sure that you share this episode. This has been a great conversation. Laura, one more time, give us your website and anything else we need to stay in touch with you.
So laurabermanmusic.com is my website. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, Laura B Sings. I love Twitter. It's fun, but it's also, I'm super honest on there. So there may or may not be some tweets with curse words. I'm just, I'm from New York, so I'll use that as a caveat. And, and I'm on SoundCloud too, Laura Berman Music, and I post sometimes live performances on SoundCloud that you could stream, and also some demos that I did, acoustic demos of older songs, and also on Instagram, Laura B Sings.
Beautiful. And we'll make sure to include links to all of those places and more in our show notes, folks. Laura, again, thank you for being with us. Jeannie, thank you for being here today.
Happy to be here.
All right. That's all we got today, folks. Until next time, peace and blessings. Thank you for listening to Real Conversations, exploring the meaning behind the music. Real Conversations is produced by the New Thought Radio Network, sharing a vibration of love, positivity, and empowerment through a variety of media streams. Learn more on the web at newthoughtmedianetwork.org. Listen to past episodes of Real Conversations on the podcast page at newthoughtradio.net. Until next time, peace and blessings. Go forth and prosper.